Hi guys, good evening and welcome back once again to The Edward. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I will be talking about what I thought of that so very good movie and the latest installment of the Ghostbusters franchise, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Well done to everybody involved. Now, before I get into all of that and I start gushing, of course, please be warned, like most of my film reviews and review videos on this channel, this is a spoiler-filled film review. So if you've not seen Ghostbusters Afterlife yet and you want to and you plan to this weekend, do not keep watching or listening to this video, as I will be discussing giant-ass spoilers. That being said, you have been warned. Let's dive right back into it. First and foremost, great job to everybody involved. It felt like it really respected the hell out of the original. And it did feel like the plot-wise, they may have rehashed the original plot a little bit using Gozer, the terror dogs, and the end of the world and whatnot. But that was okay because you still cared about the characters. The characters were still funny and engaging and entertaining to watch. They brought back the OGs, which was great. And it just was overall a very entertaining movie. And that's all that I really care about. I just wanted it to be better than that piece of crap 2016 reboot, which admittedly had its moments, but as a whole, not a very good film. And it wasn't because it was all women. They're all very talented, funny women, but I barely remember the plot. I don't know if there was a plot. That's the problem. I remember some funny moments, but plot story-wise, But this, Afterlife, was great. I think it really helps that the guy who directed it was the son of Ivan Reitman, who of course directed the first two Ghostbuster films, so that probably helped a lot too. Oh God, the opening scene alone, as soon as the cloud or the mist, whatever that was, started to take form behind him, I knew that was Egon running to that farmhouse. I knew it was Egon. I could tell based on the hair and the glasses that was Egon. Obviously not Harold Ramis, R.I.P., but I knew that was Egon, and as soon as that mist thing appeared behind him in the couch, I'm like, oh no, please not this bit again. And sure enough, God damn it, there they were. The scary-ass demon arms come up and grab him and pull him into the couch and whatnot. And it just brought back a flood of horrible memories, because I don't know if I've ever told you guys on this channel or not, but my very first viewing of Ghostbusters was an extremely negative experience. I was way too young when I watched it for the first time, like 5 or 6 years old. It scared the hell out of me, mostly because of those damn terror dogs. The sequence when Dana Barrett, Sigourney Weaver's in her apartment, and her door starts to move with the terror dog's face in it, and then the demon arms pop out of the couch, grab her, and then the couch pulls her towards the terror dog, which was utterly horrifying. And just the terror dogs in that movie just scared the hell out of me. I could not watch that movie again until many years later. And upon watching that movie for the first time, I was scarred for about a year. You know, I remember a full year before I began to fully recover from how scared I was of that movie. I couldn't go near a building near gargoyles. Thankfully, there weren't that many around where I lived, but anytime I was in a big city, I was nervous of, does this building have gargoyles? Is it going to scare the hell out of me, send me into a panic attack? So let alone the opening scene of this movie, of course, invokes the scariest scene from the original, which utterly horrified me. And I'm like, oh God, not this shit again. But thankfully I'm an adult now, so it wasn't as bad. Although the terror dogs were still scary as hell. Looked great, by the way. I love the combination of both practical effect and CGI, but they looked great, but goddamn, those terror dogs were scary as hell. Ooh, scary. And how about, not only was it great seeing the OG cast return, but the fact that we got some surprise castings as well, like Olivia Wilde playing Gozer. That was brilliant. She's beautiful. She's slender. She looks almost exactly like the original Gozer in all that costume and makeup. So spot on casting there. And then J.K. Simmons as the crazy Evo Shandor. Because I was like, Shandor, boy, that name sounds familiar. And then when it's revealed, oh, this was the guy who built Dana Barrett's apartment building in the original. The son of a bitch moved out to Oklahoma to continue his doomsday prepping. And of course, Gozer kills him right away. But still, a real treat to see Olivia Wilde and J.K. Simmons unexpectedly. That was pretty cool. overall, it was a very exciting, entertaining movie, very funny. The kids were great. I was kind of hoping for a scene where it was like a literal handing of the reins to the next generation, like handing off the proton packs to the kids, but unfortunately, we didn't really get that, but we did get a scene that I was also hoping to see, which was, it was just Phoebe and not all the kids, but just Phoebe with the proton pack. But she with the proton pack, and the three original Ghostbusters with the proton pack, and then Phoebe, and then of course Egon helping his granddaughter, even though he was in spirit form. That was awesome. I really loved and respect the fact they did not have him talk. They didn't need to. It looked just like him, even though it wasn't him. It was just an actor with a CGI face and whatnot. That was awesome. And I love how Egon got to say goodbye to his family and kind of make peace with his daughter who resented him all these years. You know, that was great. I really enjoyed that. And I didn't think it was too cheesy or hokey at all. And if people bitch about that, so what? People love cheesy, hokey shit. That's why we go to the movies in the first place. Very entertaining movie. I didn't have a whole lot invested in this, so I was kind of indifferent going into it. But then I walked out very entertained and satisfied. I also love the fact that in the first half of the film, the kids and their mother are pretty oblivious to the fact that their grandfather was an original Ghostbuster, but they had a character in the form of Paul Rudd who remembers the original film and is very knowledgeable about Ghostbusters and all their equipment and whatnot. So I love the fact that they had a character who was at least familiar with their grandfather and his legacy, and then they all slowly come around to it. So I thought that was pretty cool too. Yeah, super entertaining movie. Cool looking ghosts, scary ass terror dogs, pretty awesome climax. I was kind of hoping where, I also love the fact that they couldn't defeat Gozer the same way that they could in the original with crossing the streams. I'm glad that I was actually happy to see her kind of defeat them at that. I mean, eventually they did trap her with that awesome trap setup thing, but I also was hoping for in that climax where Dana Barrett actually shows up and kind of helps saves the day while also wearing a proton pack. Because maybe I was hoping somebody would say, oh, if only we had one more proton pack or something. And then when we see the other proton blast hit her, I was like, oh, is that her? Oh, no, it's Phoebe. She got her proton pack. Okay, that's fine. But then as the credits rolled and we saw with Sigourney Weaver, I'm like, she wasn't in this. Oh no, did they delete her scene? And then thankfully it immediately cut to that hilarious mid-credits scene with her and Bill Murray's character, Peter Venkman, doing that stupid psychic card thing that Bill Murray pulled on that poor guy in the original movie, which is so damn funny. And now he kind of got his comeuppance with Sigourney Weaver doing it to him, which was hilarious. Oh God, like I said, entertaining movie. I just wanted it to be better than the last installment of this franchise. I thought it was. I thought it was great. It was very fun. And I really enjoyed it. And I'll probably see it at least one or two more times in theaters. So, and I'm glad that I liked it. I wanted to like it after that terrible last film. And I'm glad that I've made my peace with this film franchise as well. Because boy, that first viewing really did a number on me. But I was able to enjoy it all these years later, this newest film. So yay me. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed this movie as much as I did. What did you think of Ghostbusters Afterlife? I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings on it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your night. Ghostbusters Afterlife is now playing in theaters. I think you're going to enjoy it. Oh, and stick around to the very end because there's one mid-credits and one post-credits sequence, and they're both sticking around for, I think. It's entertaining. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching. And of course, until next time, who you gonna call?